Caleb from Brownells here, and in today's video we're going to be going over how to clean your Weaponlight. So as you can see, this one is absolutely filthy, and we actually just cleaned this Springfield Prodigy that this light was on, but before we put the light back on, we want to get this cleaned up a little bit better here. And I'll also add, the light kind of mounts right here. It's in front of the muzzle. Most of it's getting on top of it, but it still definitely gets on the face of it. There's no way to really prevent it. That's just kind of part of having a weapon light. And I'll go over some ways to kind of prevent this a little bit better once we're done here. But let's just kind of jump into what we can do to clean this up. So if you have this issue, you've probably tried some different like gun solvents and stuff like that, and notice it hasn't really worked well. Then you jumped on the internet and saw what people were doing there. There's a lot of stuff out there. People, some people use toothpaste, some people use their pencil erasers, stuff like that. But I find that if we take some of this, this is the Magic Eraser. I think it's the OxyClean brand or whatever. But this actually works really good. You can get it anywhere. By anywhere, I mean like any general store, like Walmart, stuff like that. Almost said Kmart. Is Kmart still exist? I don't know. Anyway, you can get it at Walmart. All right. But what we need to do is use a little bit of something to kind of dry it off here. And you can see I was rubbing it with my finger and absolutely nothing was happening. And I'm just kind of hitting it dry here, and it's already starting to look better. But you can take a little bit of rim oil and just put a little bit on there and go to town on it here with the Magic Eraser. And as you can see, that is doing a really good job, as opposed to just trying to use a standard cloth or something like that. Because I know some of you watching this who haven't had to deal with this before, it's not going to hit home as hard to those of you who have actually had to fight with this, because it is a pain. But you basically just polish it up here with the Magic Eraser and you're good to go. There's still one little spot here I want to get. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And then you just take a rag, a non-oily part of a cleaning rag here, and just wipe off the excess, and you're good to go. That's all there is to it. And if you want to clean up the outside too, this being a tan light, it is way more, all the carbon and stuff is way more visible. You can do the same thing on it, but it does kind of burn into that anodizing. So it's not going to be perfect, but you can get a little bit of it off. Like this top portion right here, that is now the color of that light. That's not going anywhere. But we can get as much as we can off just to make it clean, so that anything else on there is just purely a cosmetic issue. And I'll just kind of clean up the bottom a little bit where it rubs into the holster, but that's fine. What we're really concerned about, obviously, is the front, because that will hinder the performance of the actual light itself. But yeah, so that's all there is to it. That is the best way to clean your light. And I talked about some preventative measures here. Honestly, the best thing to do is, if you're shooting in the daytime, or you're doing any kind of shooting where you're not going to be using your light. Honestly, most of the time I'm using this firearm. I'm not using the light. I've actually only done one night shoot with this gun. But you can just take a piece of tape and slap it over the front, and that'll solve your issue. And whenever you need the light, you just rip the tape off. Or if you're getting ready to go do a night shoot, take the tape off beforehand, and you're good to go. And if you want to prevent that during a night shoot, you can't. It's just it can't have a cover on it because it needs to shine, right? So, but that's all there is to it. And this is, in fact, it was really dirty. That is absolute months of buildup of just shooting all the time. So just kind of keep an eye on it and see how dirty it gets and clean it when it needs to be cleaned. But if you have any questions, comments, a preferred method of cleaning your light, let us know in the comments down below. And as always, if you need help with anything, for any reason ever, feel free to give us a call on the tech line. We'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.